Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity.
What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Shultz Guard getting a pretty decent buff from the previous patch. So as you guys have probably seen, Shultz Guard got a buff to 240 and the trash loot has also been changed around, which has improved the overall grinding experience for money in the area. At the moment, the trash loot is worth 4,520 silver, and Grunel and Heave and Forbidden Books have been kind of just dropping like candy as of recently anyway, at least for me in my week's worth of grinding there. To be honest, the extra Grunel and Heave is nice and all, but you're really just going there for the trash loot and the Forbidden Books. If we take a look at my inventory, this is what I got for an hour of grinding at Shultz. We got a fuck ton of Heave shoes and some Grunel pieces and a little bit of Forbidden Books, which we ran for some meme frags and got about 5 to 10 milli off the run, which is not bad by any degree in my opinion. As for the trash loot, we ended up with about 8k trash, which translates to about 36 million, and that's pretty damn good by my standards for 235 AP with some church buffs and 1 cron meal. If you guys remember my Achman video, I pulled in about 5.1k trash loot, which I believe it's like 7,500 for the trash loot there, which is 38 million. And I'm not saying Shultz is better by better than Achman by any degree, but just in terms of trash loot for me at 235 AP was the same buffs at Achman, I pull more at Shultz because Shultz for 1 hour is 36 million and at Achman for 2 hours is 38 million. So it's more worth for me to go to Shultz and it's worse at Achman, at least for me at the moment. However, Achman has the tongue grad drop and shard drops, so with 5.1k trash plus a tongue grad and the possibility of being able to craft a tongue grad with the shards, Achman will always be a better option just for that simple fact. Now here lies the problem with Shultz grinding, because this is either going to make you want to grind here or completely just stay away from the spot. In Achman, people tend to avoid PvP due to it's just a bitch to find a portal, and when you do find one, there's a possibility you end up in Histria, which is complete ass at my AP level. So even though it's shared by players, people don't really PvP in Achman, but I do want to say that it does happen every like now and then. Now over at Shultz, it's a complete war zone in that spot. You're almost always going to end up in a fight with some asshole no matter what rotation you're in. The issue with Shultz PvP is karma can be grinded back in minutes with little to no effort whatsoever. This in turn allows players to flag up and fight for almost pretty much free actually, and K-bombing tactics are kind of nullified, which I'm sure some people are pretty happy about that. To be honest, you can still K-bomb and people will be using this tactic still, but it's going to cost you some Elion tiers, or it's just going to have, you're just going to need to have multiple people to K-bomb. But if you're just spawning at Sarma Outpost or wherever the fuck you want to spawn, you essentially don't lose much karma, at least from loading screen to walk time. By the time you get back there, if you're not K-bombing, you're basically going to already get the karma that you spent to kill said person, and that's kind of weird, just being able to grind back karma that fast. So as I mentioned earlier, players are essentially nullifying K-bombing due to how easy it is to grind karma back. And I really don't want to argue about the politics of K-bombing or whether it's a cheap tactic or socially acceptable. I personally don't give a shit. For me, I don't really care too much about K-bombing because I'll kill you over and over again till I'm almost red, and then I'll just stop killing you and you can sit there and talk your shit while I'm just going to grind my karma back, and then once I get it back, I'm just going to do it all over again, and it don't matter because I remember names. You piss me off, your name is engraved in my fucking death book. I get it. It's a thing that they put in the game to punish players who are bullying lobies in areas where the higher players shouldn't even be. This is something that I feel like players kind of overlook, is that there are people out there that legitimately go down to places like Catfish or Manchas, wherever the fuck, and they'll just kill low players that are just questing or whatever, just trying to progress in the game, and they'll try and stop their progression. This has happened before and people have admitted to this. Just the other day, I saw a dude in fucking server chat talking about how he was K-bombed at fucking Catfish. Like, the dude was an idiot. That's not a K-bomb, that's you trying to bully lobies at fucking Catfish, you asshole. Like that's how dumb people are. So when it comes to K-bombing, it needs to exist. There has to be some kind of punishment in place to allow new players to, you know, drive off higher players, or else the punishment, because when you go red, and if you do go red, you are marked for fucking death. Anybody and everybody will hunt you down to break your crystals and make sure you lose XP. That is a constant fact. So going red is a really huge deterrent because you lose a lot, especially if you have like Jin Vipers or anything in your armor that is extremely expensive. Like my crystal setup is extremely expensive and I would never go red for anybody just so that way they can get the chance to fuck me over. but it's unfortunately used as a weapon for when a player is just plain bad at the game or salty over an L. They just weaponize K-bombing and can't accept the fact that if they lose a 1v1, they won't walk away from it, or at least keep trying to beat the person. They will legitimately resort to K-bombing in order to win, and quote-unquote win, even though you're just holding an L in just big baby hours. So fuck you. Anyway, back on topic here, Shultz guard might as well just be Arsha, and that's going to make it a lot harder for mid-tier grinders like myself to get into. From what I've seen the past week, most of the players that I've ran into are higher AP than myself. By the way, still clapping those cheeks, it doesn't stop me. Anyway, which leads me to believe that this spot will be controlled by higher AP brackets that should honestly be elsewhere, but you know, it is what it is. However, there has been a lot of lower level like AP and DP players in the area, because I've definitely just like flagged up on someone and just ended their whole career in seconds, and they just have like no skill whatsoever or just no armor realistically. And it's not a K-bomb because I didn't like go like almost red immediately or anything like that. They're just like not even mid-tier, they're like kind of low to mid-tier players. So there's definitely other players that are coming around that are more on the low side of things. Now, unfortunately, I have seen this tactic where an entire guild will lock down the area and won't allow anyone to enter Shultz at all. At one point, I even just did this with my boy Deviljin. I got super mad and killed everyone that walked past me because I just got so fed up and I was pissed and tired, and I just was trying to get the information for this video, and anybody that walked past me, walked near my site, I flagged up and I just killed everyone. I didn't give one single fuck that day. I was so fed up trying to get information for this dumbass video. And I'm sorry for all the souls I released that day. But aside from that situation, which that was just me and my boy Deviljin, like we just held that spot down for just the two of us and nobody got in. One time I went there and there was an entire guild there. It was fucking Shadow Syndicate and I think Lunatics. They had the whole area just on lock with like 3 to 4 people, and then I think Shadow Syndicate legitimately brought their whole fucking pen flex team out there. I don't know if they have pens or not, but it felt like they had fucking pens. Good God, there was like 10 of them or so, and they were just locked down the whole fucking area, and we just got into a GVG, and it was fucking bad. So like that was interesting, just seeing a whole guild lock down an entire spot and just not letting anyone in. It was just really bizarre. So I don't know. It's been an odd experience grinding at Shultz, and there's even different tactics that you can implement where you could bring the frigate or sailboat down, or any kind of boat for that matter, and just fill the area with a bunch of guildmates. And not to mention, you can ferry the loot to the boat and then ferry it to Alta Nova and just get free trash loot just over and over again, and it takes little to no effort doing that because Alta Nova is right there. Not to mention, you can put an extreme amount of trash loot inside the sailboat or even the frigate, whatever, and it's a lot of money. You can just fucking walk away with like 50k trash loot if you decide to sit there all day. Not that you're gonna be able to get that spot for a whole fucking day, but that's besides the point. So in conclusion here, boys, Shultz is good money and even good for skill XP, kinda, to a degree. I don't know, it kind of felt like the XP was good there. I got like 30 skill points or something, so it wasn't bad. However, the spot is heavily contested, so you might do more PvPing than grinding, which typically leads to decks or karma bombs. And I don't know, if I want to grind, I want to fucking grind. If I want to go release some souls, I'll go on Arsha and release some fucking souls. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. If you can land the spot for a solid 2 hours, it's big money. You make a lot of money off of just having an upgraded node, so you're getting constant like plus 15 Grunel and Heave pieces. Seems that the Heave just drops like candy, and Grunel a little bit more on the rare side, but you'll still get a fuck ton of Grunel, mainly the shoes. If you get a helmet though, however, and even the gloves, that is where the money is, because the helmet's worth a good bit, because everyone likes to use that for fail stacking and enhancing. So if you get like a plus 15 helmet or something, you're looking at pretty decent profit off of that. But once again, that's up to you if you want to risk it or go solo, or even if you bring a guild, whatever. I don't personally care. It's not my cup of tea for grinding. I'll stick to my areas. I'd rather, you know, suffer for 2 hours at Akhman for, you know, the same amount of gains, but at least there I don't have to necessarily worry about PvPing so much. Heavily contested spots are super annoying and just not my cup of tea. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.